right? With this B flow situation heavy. Give me 1 second to get into it, man. As you come in, like the chat up, like, comment, and subscribe. Matter of fact, share this live with everybody you know. Hey, don't go be flow. Oh yeah, man. uh, yeah. And I might go over in the live tonight, just depending what's going on. But I'm very interested in watching that Indiana Oregon game, man. You know? Give me 1 second, bro. Pull this up. Mm-hmm. Let's get it. Mm-hmm. Let's get it. Ravens request to interview Vikings defensive coordinator Brian Flores. Where there you have it. You see where the Ravens' mind is at. You see that the Ravens really want B-Flow. You see what's really going on. So it's no more secrets. Like I said in the last live, like we observed in the last live, right? Tom Brady, the Raiders, everybody wants Flores, man. He will be a hot commodity. I repeat, he will be a hot commodity. Are you shocked? Not at all, homie. Not at all. Yeah. The Ravens have added Viking defensive coordinator Brian Flores to their list of head coaching candidates. And you know what it is, man. Bottom line, period. The Baltimore Ravens requested to interview Minnesota Vikings defensive coordinator Brian Flores for their head coaching vacancy, per NFL's Network's Tom Pelissero. Flores was in New England for a decade in multiple roles that included special teams assistant, defensive assistant, safeties coach, and linebackers coach before landing his first head coaching job at Miami in 2019. Flores' tenure with the Dolphins was not a successful one, finishing with the 24-25 record and no playoff appearances in his 3 seasons there. And a lot of headlines, namely reports of Flores refusing to tank in 2019 that fractured relations with ownership, rumors that Flores never wanted Tagovailoa at his quarterback, and the confirmation that the Dolphins pursued Sean Payton before firing Flores. Well, first off, Flores, that shows you who he is as a competitor, as a man, and as a coach right there, right? Right. The fact that he refused to tank, I don't got no problem with it. I don't like damn tanking anyway. So that shows you where his mindset, his mind frame really is as far as being a head coach, the development of a team where he wants to take his team right down. And the fact the Dolphins were mad at him allegedly for not wanting to tank shows you where they were or weren't in a situation as being an organization, period. And then people try to get mad at Flo like because he didn't want Tua. So what? Mike Zimmer didn't want Kirk Cousins' punk ass, huh? Maybe maybe it was the same situation. Flores saw flaws in Tua, and now when it's all coming to the light, Tua definitely is not the guy. You know, he is definitely not a franchise quarterback for a team, period. So you ask yourself, was Brian Flores wrong? Hell to the no, bitch, yeah. The stint and the drama, unfortunately, tarnished Flores' reputation following his tenure in Miami, with many saying he was incapable of being a head coach due to his temper. Now, we don't know the inside scoop. We don't know the real 411. And he could have had a little slight temper, but I'm sure he's grown a lot from that situation, right? Since then, he's probably a totally different coach, totally different coaching style, totally different person at the end of the day, right? Right. After he left Miami, Flores spent a year in Pittsburgh as a senior defensive assistant and linebackers coach. This was an important time for Flores, where head coach Mike Tomlin wanted to offer him a lifeline following his failed Miami experience. And you must salute right and shout out Mike Tomlin for giving Flores an opportunity. You know, damn near the whole NFL, turned their back on him, didn't want to really give him another chance. Then Flores once again got a chance to be around greatness, right? Understand the meaning of winning and really running a team, running, building a roster, being under the wing of Mike Tomlin. So that was a benefit for him, a win-win for him. So it all came to fruition for Flores. So shout out Mike Tomlin once again for not paying attention to the BS, not paying attention to the hype, not being scared to give this man another chance, even though he's going up against the NFL. So yeah, Mike Tomlin, I'm sure, saw something in him to give him an opportunity to be successful. You hear me, dog? No cap, bruh. Heavy, point blank, period. Flores took what he learned from Tomlin and went to Minnesota, where he spent the last 2 seasons as the defensive coordinator. Yeah. Now the Ravens are calling. Are you surprised? Are you shocked? Shit, not at all. A lot of people are calling. Yeah, man. Come on. Trying to bring Flores fire and attention to detail to Baltimore's defense. Since Mike McDonald's departure, the Ravens have been unable to field a consistent defense. And now you see what I believe Mike McDonald is in Seattle, right? Now you see in 2 years where he has brung the position he has put Seattle in. You hear me? Heavy. It's about coaching. I repeat, it's about coaching. The Minnesota Vikings lose Flores. I tell you this here right now, dog. You cannot replace a Brian Flores. I repeat, let me get active. You cannot replace a Brian Flores, point blank, period, bottom line. Bitch, yeah. They've also blown multiple fourth quarter leads during John Harbaugh's tenure in the last 7 years. 13 games since 2020, blowing a double-digit lead. Flores has also repeatedly gushed about Lamar Jackson during press conferences and feels like the perfect coach to push Jackson. Oh yeah, no cap. You would have to think, you would have to assume that Brian Flores and Lamar Jackson would be a perfect duo, a dynamic duo. Similar personalities, similar, probably maybe slightly similar backgrounds, but Flores just liking everything about Lamar Jackson's game, right? Wanting to win like Lamar Jackson wants to win, bringing the same energy to the table as Lamar Jackson brings. So yeah, bro, it would definitely be a win-win. You mix them two together, it could be very spooky. I repeat, very spooky for the league. Hey, come on, man. You already know how it go, man. Yeah. But we gonna check it out, Holden. You hear me? We gonna check it out, big dog. Heavy, man. Early. Yeah, we ain't in no rush. We ain't in no damn rush. Shout out Holden in the building once again. Speaking of some Minnesota Vikings news, their defensive backs coach got a few teams looking at him as defensive coordinator. Oh man, oh man, that's what happens. Hey, that's what happens right there, Skolden. Holden. When you're successful as a coach, defensive coordinator, whatever, teams will start poaching. Teams will start coming at you. That's the name, the game of the business, right? Right. Matter of fact, let's just dive into that right now. Give me 1 second. Yeah, we here, man. We here. Support the grind, support the channel for real. Oh, hold on, man. Hold on, man. Hold on. I think I see it right here, bro. Let's get it. Let's see what's up with the Holden. Heavy. Shout out Holden in the chat for breaking that news, man. For real. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Hold on, man. Shout out my boy Skolden for coming in hot on the spot. Yeah, I see the article right here. Give me 1 second, man. Give me 1 second. A lot going on in Minnesota. A lot going on in Minnesota. The more coaches you can retain, the better. Locked in, lock in with me, baby. Lock in with me. You hear me? Heavy. Let's get into it. Vikings confident Brian Flores and Durante Jones will stay despite NFL teams seeking interviews. Holden. So that's facts, bro. That's facts. Durante Jones, we know the Vikings defensive backs coach. He's a hot topic too. He's a hot topic as well. Let's get into it, bro. For real. The Minnesota Vikings defensive success has turned coordinator Brian Flores and assistant coach Durante Jones into high priority targets across the NFL. Even as multiple teams request interviews, the Vikings are confident they can keep the core of their defensive staff intact heading into 26 now. I ask you the question, you hear me? What makes them so confident? Like, what reason do they have, to be so confident that Flo won't leave or Durante Jones won't leave? I mean, I just must sit back and ponder on that, man. Right? Right. I mean, what makes them so confident, though? I ask you, fire the chat up if you think Durante Jones will leave, if you think Brian Flores will leave. And before I go any further, like I say in every live, if you want to come up here, say what you feel, just make sure it's real. Let me know, man, and I will drop the link. No cap. SKOL Vikes. Yeah, man. SKOL Vikes. But what will make the Vikings so confident that Durante Jones will stay, that Flores will stay? Now we know the pressure was pushed back and it was supposed to be this week. It was moved back to next week. So you ask yourself the question, what type of work, what kind of work the Vikings are doing behind the scenes. But they're going to have to break bread. I repeat, they're going to have to break bread at the end of the day, dog. Period, huh? No cap. Yeah. But I just asked, KOC, the way his offense was ran, the way his offense was inconsistent, what makes them and the Wolves think that Flores and Durante Jones will remain? And you got to shout out Durante Jones as well, just for what he helped do with the secondary heavy. You talking about a secondary that lacked a lot of personnel, that lacked talent, especially at the cornerback position. So the way Flo and Durante Jones had them boys playing was on a different level. So they're going to want the bag. They're going to want the guapino. You understand? They're going to want the bag. They're going to want the guapino. You hear me? Heavy, dog. No cap. Yeah. So you want to retain Durante Jones and B-Flow at the same damn time? You're going to have to put a little money out there, man. A little money out there around yonder. Heavy. SKOL State of Mind in the building. SKOL State of Mind in the building. What up, big dog? SKOL Vikes, bro. Early. Yeah. Early, man. Let's get it, man. Yeah. Once again, Durante Jones, definitely a major piece. Definitely a major piece. And you got to understand, if Brian Flores leaves, it won't just be Brian Flores leaving. It will be other coaches under him leaving as well, who came up under him, who have been learning from him, right? Growing under him, etc., etc., etc. So this whole Durante Jones situation shows you just how quickly and swiftly, if B-Flow were to leave, now, definitely we want him to stay, but if he were to leave, it shows you the domino effect it could definitely have. SKOL State of Mind says, what? Is retaining Flores that important? Hold up. Matter of fact, let me do this here. let me stop sharing this page right here around yonder, huh? Yeah. Oh, man. What type of question is that, SKOL State of Mind? SKOL State of Mind said, is retaining Flores that important? Oh man, what do you think, Skull State of Mind? Let me know, bro. Matter of fact, if you want to come up here and speak your piece, let me know that as well. And I dropped a link, man, early. Skull Vikes. B flow don't go. I repeat, B flow don't go. Hell to the yeah. Retaining Flores is that important. What do you mean? Is it that important, big dog? How is it not that important? Matter of fact, fire the chat up, dog. If you think, give me a yes or no, is retaining B flow that important, man. Once again, give me a yes or no, is retaining Brian Flores that important? Hell to the yeah. Period. How would it not be important, dog? How is it not important, dog? You hear me? Huh? Who will come in and who will come in and do the same job right away like B Flow did? Huh? Who will come and change the personality of your defense, huh? Like B Flow did, dog. With the lack of personnel. With the lack of personnel, lacking talent in major areas that you need to not lack talent in. you know? So hell yeah, man. He changes the whole energy of your defense. He's more important than KOC. He's more important than Quasi, baby. Yeah, I said it. Let me repeat it. He's more important than KOC. He's more important than Quasi. Yeah, he's the most important signing, most important coach to retain right now. Look at the defense. Yeah, easy work, easy work. Matter of fact, look at the defense again with the lack of talent. I mean, let's just be real and state the facts here. B Flow is really the best thing to happen to Minnesota in some years now. Period, man. That's just what it is. Ain't no way around it. You understand? And that's what I feel about it right there. Hell yeah. Hell yeah, he's that important. Man, what? Hell to the yeah, dog. For real. I'll look at it like this. Flores being here always had an expired date. It was only a matter of time before he left and got a head coaching job. Well, what does that mean? Does that mean the expiring date was this year? No. Did anyone expect him to leave this year? No. You hear me? Come on, man. I mean, what everybody has an expiring date technically, right? SKOL State of Mind, KOC has an expiration date. Quasi has an expiration date. As we saw, boom, John Harbaugh has an expiration date. But the only thing is, some expiration dates come abruptly. Some expiration dates come unexpectedly. You hear me? And for Brian Flores, let's be real. No one thought he would be leaving this year, especially with the whole situation he is in with the NFL, bro. Period. It was more likely for him to leave last year than this year, right? Right. So yeah, everybody got a damn expiration date, a damn timeline, homie. But at the end of the day, no one expected it to be right here, right now, early. Definitely not the Raiders. Definitely not the Ravens. But this is just how things are working out right now. But of course, that's the ultimate goal for Flo. He wanted to be a head coach. But at the same time, just because he wants to be a head coach, don't mean he will go be a head coach if the situation is not right or if it doesn't make sense, bro. Period. And at the end of the day, the Vikings will be in a horrible, piss poor situation if they don't retain Flo. Heavy. I don't care who we talking about. Raheem Morris, whoever you bring in, ain't nobody on Flo's level, bro. Period. No cap. Look at Raheem Morris. Obviously, he had an expiration date. You can't keep a guy away from his dream of being a head coach again. No one's saying that. Once again, I repeat, no one's saying that. But you can postpone it. You can pay him the Guapino, the Federale. Maybe your head coach can be better on offense to make him believe in this offense with all the effort and work he's putting in on this grind to make this defense top 5. Huh? Yeah. Even without having his real personnel. Yeah. So what we really talking about here round yonder? Hell to the yeah, you must retain Flo. Ain't nobody coming in right away and doing the job that Flo has done. Can't nobody fill Flo's shoes, bro. For real. You make the bid, you bid out everybody to keep him in that position. Matter of fact, fire KOC, put him in head coach. That would be the ideal situation for me. You know what I'm saying? If we being real deal, no Holyfield, but shout out respect to Holyfield. He is a boxing legend. Hell, he my boy tripping tonight, ain't he? SKOL State of Mind 0-1 tonight for real, dog. 1,000. The Vikings have prepared for themselves for this happening. Prepared how? Prepared when? I'm just reading an article right now where the Vikings feel like Durante Jones, which is your cornerback coach and assistant coach to Flores, and Brian Flores will stay. So if they prepare for this SKOL State of Mind, why the hell would they believe and have certainty that Durante Jones and Brian Flores will remain in the building? I ask you again, if they were prepared for this happening, why are we seeing articles saying that the Vikings believe Durante Jones and Brian Flores will remain defensive coordinators, assistant coordinators on this team, period? You hear me, dog? No cap. Let's make it make sense at all times. I repeat, make sure you're making it make sense. And once again, you want to come up here and say how you feel, let me know. I will drop the link, dog. Just make sure it's real. Yeah, SKOL Vikes. Believe that. Shout out Hoople in the building. Shout out Hoople in the building. B-Flow is going to leave. Too many good opportunities. Got to get D coordinator from within. Yeah, we got the playbook. What playbook do you have, Hoople? What playbook do you damn have? And first off, no, we don't know B-Flow is going to leave. A lot of opportunities, yeah. And which opportunities are good? Let's be real. The only really good opportunity may be the Ravens. And that all depends on how their roster looks next year. Cowboys, trash. Raiders, trash. Right? I repeat, Cowboys, trash, boom. Raiders, trash, boom. It's all about the guapino. It's all about the federale. If the Vikings pay that man what he wants, I guarantee he stays. You know? And you say we got the playbook. What does that mean? We got the playbook. Heavy, homie. Yeah. You know? Early. What does it really mean? Yeah, man. Let's get it, bro. I get all that, but ask yourself this question: are the Vikings going to ever offer him the head coaching job? That's not the question to ask right now, my boy. You know, Mel Batty in the building. Real talk, EJ. Mel Batty in the building. What up, big dog? Let's get it, man. Paying him more money doesn't mean anything if he's not the head coach. It means a lot. It means it means he's the highest paid defensive coordinator in the world. You know, it means it makes a lot of sense for him to stay. Matter of fact, my big dog said, drop the link. Okay, hold on. Give me 1 second. SKOL State of Mind. Give me 1 second, dog. Heavy. Early, man. Yeah. 1 second, man. 1 second, bro. You hear me? Heavy. Give me 1 second, man. For real. I'm finna drop the link right here. Give me 1 second. Let's get it, man. Let's get it. Shout out SKOL State of Mind in the building, bro. You hear me? No cap. Yeah. One second, D Woods. 1 second, dog. Y'all give me a minute. Y'all give me a minute, man. Yo, you can hear me? Yo, you there? What up, big dog? What's going on, man? SKOL Vikes.
What up? Can you hear me clear?
You clear, man. Say how you feel. Say how you feel, big dog. I can hear you. I can hear you. Can hear me, right?
This is how I look at it like this. Yeah, I can hear you.
All right.
Okay. There we go. Sound better now. Look, peep game. This is all I'm trying to say, bro.
Mm-hmm.
At the end of the day, Flores already stated that he wants to be a head coach in this league, that there's only 32 opportunities to be a head coach. Now,
right.
With that being said, my gripe with the Vikings is not being prepared for this to happen. because I look at it from a different lens. Like, yo, he has head coach aspirations, even though with the lawsuit and everything like that. And I just feel like, regardless of how much money you push in front of him, if it's not that head coaching title, there's no guarantee of him actually staying. You get what I'm saying? So it's kind of like
Facts.
we so we might want him to stay because we love Flores and his defense is great. But if Flores doesn't see a pathway to being a head coach with the Vikings, then you got to be prepared for him to actually leave. And that's all I'm really saying. It's not no shit of saying like Flores is not a good coach. It is the fact like he wants to be a certain part, be somewhere. He wants a head coach, and that's not going to get offered here. That's what we got to understand as fans.
So your thing, you coming in from a point of view is like the Vikings should be prepared for this to happen.
I think the Vikings should have been prepared for this like 2 years ago. Like, because if you think about it though, Big Skol, Flores has done everything he needed to repair his image, show he can actually build a defense from the bottom up. He took a defense that was basically, a bottom feeder, in the league and made him a top 10 defense, if not top 5. So if you look at everything that Flores has done, bro, let that man go and get a head coaching job, because he's done everything he needed to do. Every box he needed was actually checked.
everything but win a Super Bowl and have the #1 defense.
He already got a Super Bowl ring, though. That's what you got to understand. He already got multiple Super Bowl rings already. So that doesn't really entice him because he won that in New England.
Right.
He wants to do it on his own now. He wants to be the head coach that builds the team and builds the culture that goes to the Super Bowl. He's already won Super Bowl as a DC. He want that Vrabel title, where Vrabel's probably gonna get Coach of the Year again. He wants that, and the Vikings don't offer that to him. Only thing that's gonna be offered is being a DC.
Right. So you think no matter how much money the Vikings offer him, that his main goal is to be a head coach.
Yes. Now if the possibility of him being a head coach and it don't work with the Raiders or whatever team that's interviewing him, then yeah, maybe he might come back next year. But then we're gonna be having that same conversation this time next year, because coach is gonna get fired again and he's gonna be interviewed again. So that's what I'm saying. It's like he had an expire date when he came to this team as a DC. And we shouldn't have been prepared for that, especially after 3 seasons of being a top defense. Like, it's going to happen, bro. Like, there's no way around it. He's not going to stay with the Vikings just to be a DC.
Yeah, that's
KLC gets fired, and you see they love him.
Right. Yeah. That's inevitable that he's going to get hired eventually. Yeah, that's inevitable. I mean, you definitely got to prepare, but like I say, the expiration date, it could be abrupt, or it could take some time. Like my thing's like he wants to be a head coach, but does he really want to coach the Dallas Cowboys or the Raiders? The Ravens probably makes the most sense, but it got to be the right situation too. Like you always say.
Yeah, it's gonna be the right situation. Me personally, I think the best situation for him is the Raiders, because they have $100 million in cap space. They don't have a quarterback. He can build it from the ground up and see it flourish from day one. Like, I don't know if he's going to pair well with Lamar Jackson, but the Ravens are a good fit. But at the same time, it's like, bro, he wants to be a head coach, not a DC.
So you think him saying that he wants to remain in Minnesota and the Vikings thinking he will remain, you think that's just sounding good for the fans and the people?
That's all cap, because he done said it for multiple interviews that he still wants to be a head coach. Like,
we know for a fact he wants to be a head coach. That's we know that for a fact. Yeah.
So with the money, let's just say they make him the highest paid, they offer him to be the highest paid DC in the whole league, right? That wouldn't mean nothing to him because he wanted to be a head coach.
For real, head coach, but being the highest paid, say boom, they give him a contract, he's the highest paid for the next 2 years. You don't think being the highest paid would say, all right, I can wait 2 years and keep doing my thing with Minnesota and even show my worth even more. And then after 2 years, boom, we'll go our separate ways. I just think you can find a way to keep, if he really wants to stay. I feel like I feel like you can find a way to, really make him stay if he wants to stay. You know?
Bro, think about it like this though, right? You said wait 2 more years and be the highest paid DC. He's already been here 3.
Yeah.
That means
But he's not
a 5-year DC.
but he's not the highest paid DC though, right?
How many head coaching opportunities he gonna get?
Bro, head coaches
not
get fired every year.
But he don't care about that.
So you think
true.
he waiting for that head coach and he gone? Yeah, I feel you on that. I feel you on that.
The opportunity fits his need. He gone.
Yeah, but bro, you think it's gonna be Dallas?
Raiders, bro,
the Raiders? You think the Raiders is really a good opportunity? Bro, that's a that's a horrible organization right now.
Break down the Raiders. Okay, look, bro. They got Tom Brady in there, right? They got Tom Brady in there, who's already a Patriot, right? They got $100 million in cap space for next season, and they got the first overall pick in the draft. Hold on. What was the problem? Yeah,
that's fact. So they got $100 million cap for real. Hold on, let's see. They got
$100 million cap. They got 100.
Damn.
Look it up on over the cap. They got $100 million cap and the first overall pick. Now the problem that he had in Miami was they drafted Tua. He didn't want him. He wanted more control. Now he's gonna have the greatest quarterback of all time in the front office with him, saying, "Hey, this is what we should do at quarterback." Even if they go out and get a veteran quarterback for a year, even if they draft Mendoza or Dante Moore, they're not going to throw the quarterback out there this first year because they got the money to pay a veteran quarterback for 2.
Right. Unless that quarterback is like that early, though.
Yeah, unless he's like that early. And with the money, with the Raiders that they got in free agency, they can fill every hole. Every hole on their roster. And he can have, with him being the head coach, he'll be the one saying, I want this, I want this, I want that. That's what I'm saying, like, bro, like $100 million and the first overall pick.
Yeah.
Like, come on, man. All he gotta do is hire like Mike McDaniel as the OC for him, and he running. He good. He's straight.
Yeah. Mike McDaniel definitely needs to be an OC rather than a head coach. He one of them dudes. He better off being a coordinator. Yeah.
That's what I'm
saying. No cap though. And you ain't capping. Yeah. 110 mil. Damn, I ain't know that.
Hey, Big SKOL, when I know my shit, I know my shit. I don't just be on here talking, bro.
I respect that.
Talking, man.
Yeah.
Like, I'm just thinking about it as like, if you take everything that happened in Miami, no cap space, didn't want the quarterback, didn't have say so, he could be able to do that in fucking Vegas.
And you know what trippy?
And a number overall pick.
And you know what trippy about Miami? He was going through all that and still was successful, dog.
Still was successful.
You know?
So they already know he can win with less.
Yeah. No, that's crap. That's a lot of money, dog. 110 mil.
I'm telling you, man, like as Viking fans, we gotta look at it from a different lens. Like this is a business decision for him, man. Like I understand you always want to keep players and coaches, close to the best, but at the same time, it's like you can't hinder him from other opportunities, especially if the opportunity is going to let him, spread his legs and become the head coach that he wants to be.
Oh no, I get that. My thing is, shit, I don't want him to go. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, man, that's all I'm saying, bro.
Yeah, because if he go, where we go from there? Raheem Morris, he may be the closest thing.
I think if you go from there, you got to go after somebody like Jonathan Gannon. Like Jonathan Gannon is a good DC. He got Minnesota ties because he was here under the Zimmer regime. I think he's a better coach than Morris. Because think about it is though, you got to get somebody that can actually come out here and help those corners. So I'm looking at it like that because they can't play man and we don't have a lot of cap space going forward. So it's like, hey, you need somebody that's going to come in here and just keep it solid. You got to be prepared for it not to be good next year.